Back in 2006, I walked into a junior college in Wisconsin for the first tryouts that we were running for an AAU program that I put together called the Wisconsin Playmakers. And this was a program that I put together really for one reason, and that was to provide kids who had big dreams the skills, the resources, and the experiences to help bring these dreams to life. And as I was in the gym, I saw a player walk in, get his shoes on, and walk over to this blue canvas ball bag that we had sitting there. And this little 6th grade kid grabbed the ball out of the bag and he was palming it to get a feel for the basketball, and then he just started to dribble this basketball. And he had the ball on a string. He was just snapping it back and forth like a college player that had put in countless hours just to make it to that level. And as tryouts progressed, I noticed another thing about this kid, and that was no matter what we were doing, no matter what I was talking about, no matter what I was teaching or demonstrating or explaining, his eyes were just laser locked on me. He was trying to soak up everything that he possibly could in that 2-hour tryout to be able to take home and use to work on his game. And then towards the end of this tryout, I put all the players through this drill, and they were going through an NBA drill that I adjusted a little bit because these kids were 12, 13, 14 years old. And NBA players in this drill were given 90 seconds to hit a three-pointer from 7 spots, 3 in a row, all the way around the arc. This kid, as a 6th grader, beat this NBA drill that the players are allotted 90 seconds to beat in 53 seconds. Back in 2006, when Matt Thomas walked into that gym, he was just a kid with a dream. But last summer, he saw that dream fulfilled by signing a $4.2 million deal with the Toronto Raptors. And last season, he played a contributing role in his rookie season, shooting close to 50% from the three-point line. But Matt's dream was not fulfilled without going through tons of adversity. When Matt was 9 years old, his parents had divorced. And on the first day of school in 5th grade, he was at the end of the school day, and one of his buddies' mothers came to pick him up from school. And he wasn't really thinking anything of it, except for he thought, I'm going over to my friend's house, we're gonna have a play date after school. And instead of going to his friend's house, his friend's mom actually took them to his own home. And when he walked in, his older brother and younger sister were sitting on the couch in the living room. And as they were sitting on the couch, their mother walked in and broke the news to them that their dad, who had been struggling alcohol and drug addiction, had committed suicide earlier that day. After his dad had committed suicide, his best friend's father stepped in to be a father figure in his life. And Matt spent a ton of time with his family, playing in the pool during the summers, playing basketball, and having sleepovers. And at an AAU tournament, after his sophomore year in high school, they had just won a game and they were about to go play in the championship. And he was walking out to the parking lot with his mom to go grab some food, and he could just tell that something was off. And so he turned to her and he asked her, Mom, what's going on? What's up? And she went on to tell him that Todd, the guy who had stepped in to be a father figure in his life, was missing, and they thought that he had drowned in a boating accident. So they left the AAU tournament, and Matt went up to spend time with his best friend and just be there to support him. After a couple days, the sheriff came in, announced that they had found the body, and pronounced him dead. And then after his sophomore year, Matt was driving home from a party with a broken taillight and got arrested for a DWI. Something that would have been difficult to deal with in and of itself, but he was also dealing with the fact that he got pulled over for a DWI. He was thinking about his father and the drug and alcohol addiction that he dealt with, that he battled with in his life. And he spent a night in jail asking himself, man, am I an addict too? After Matt finished up his career at Iowa State, he went on to play in NBA Summer League for the Los Angeles Lakers. And in the championship game, he scored 23 points, went 5 for 5 from the three-point line, but still no offers came through from any NBA teams. So he went over to Europe, and he played 2 years in Spain before the Raptors came calling and offered him a deal. Matt's story is one of patience, persistence, and falling in love with the process. What Matt valued, what Matt understood, was the power of decision. Matt was going to do something every day to work on his mind, to work on his body, or to work on his skills in order to level up. What Matt understood was that it's the small, seemingly insignificant choices that actually add up over the long run and add up to who we become and what we accomplish with our lives. And those decisions that we make to create our future only happen in the present moment.